AI does not just threaten jobs. It is reshaping who will control money, data, and power in the decade ahead. And what is the scariest part? It is not rogue robots. AI is learning very quickly from human beings themselves, how we work, how we spend, how we make decisions, and even how we behave at our weakest moments. Then it begins to do what humans do, faster, cheaper, at greater scale, and without knowing when to stop. For decades, AI was a relatively narrow field of research. It has now become the center of a new power struggle. Tech giants are pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into AI, building massive data centers, competing for chips, electricity, and data, all to create increasingly powerful models. But the more money that flows into AI, the more leading experts are sounding the alarm. AI is not just the greatest opportunity of our era, it may also be one of the greatest risks. So the question now is no longer, is AI useful? It is, are we handing too much power to something we still do not truly control? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things. First, why AI is no longer just a tool for answering questions, but is moving toward acting on its own. Second, why the greatest risk of AI lies not only in the technology itself, but in the way it is reshaping jobs, power, and social trust. And third, why, if we do not begin to control it now, AI could become the most powerful system ever created for surveillance, manipulation, and the concentration of power. And the most unsettling part? It is not some distant future, it has already begun. This is the greatest paradox of AI. The same technology can help people write code faster, boost productivity, discover new drugs, and solve incredibly difficult problems. But that very same technology is also leading more and more people to warn that AI could become one of the greatest risks of the 21st century. Why? Because AI no longer just answers questions. It is moving toward observing, analyzing, predicting, and acting on its own. And once AI begins acting in place of humans, the game changes completely. 1. AI is moving from answering to doing. In the past, AI was simple. You asked a question, the machine answered. You gave a command, the machine responded. At that point, it was still just a tool. But now, what is emerging is AI that can take action on its own, what many call agentic AI. This kind of AI does not just wait for instructions, it is given a goal, then it breaks the work down, makes a plan, chooses a method, and moves toward a result by itself. That sounds incredibly convenient, but that is also exactly where the risk starts rising fast, because when a chatbot runs into a problem, it stops. When an autonomous AI runs into a problem, it may look for another path and keep going, and that is the real issue. A machine can optimize extremely well, but it does not naturally understand the lines human beings should never cross. If the goal is even slightly wrong, or if the system misunderstands something by even a little, it may still be logically consistent while being completely wrong in its consequences. AI becomes dangerous when it does not just respond to humans, but begins to act in place of them. 2. AI does not need malice to cause harm. Many people think the scariest possibility is that one day AI will become conscious and turn against humanity, but reality may be simpler and far more dangerous. AI does not need malice to cause harm. It only needs to pursue the wrong goal with extreme efficiency. Human beings still have stopping points. We get angry, but sometimes we pull back. We are ambitious, but we still fear consequences. Machines do not. Machines do not feel guilt. They do not feel compassion, and they do not stop to ask, is this going too far? They simply optimize for the goal they were given. So, if that goal is wrong, vague, or misaligned, AI can amplify that mistake at enormous scale. The most frightening thing is not that AI might become evil. It is that it can carry out human mistakes with extraordinary efficiency. 3. The more invisible AI becomes, the greater the risk. A smartphone still has a very clear limit. You have to pick it up, unlock the screen, and actively use it. But the new wave of AI is different. Fewer screens, always on, always listening, and far more embedded in everyday life. The more invisible technology becomes, the easier it is for people to let their guard down. You start asking fewer questions. What is it listening to? What is it storing? What does it understand about me? Where is that data going? And who is really benefiting from all of this? In exchange for a little convenience, you may be opening the door to a system that touches nearly every part of your personal life. Your voice, your schedule, your email, your relationships, your habits, your emotions, and even your most vulnerable moments. That is no longer just an assistant. That is deep access to your life. The more invisible AI becomes, the easier it is for people to hand over more power than they realize. 4. We still do not fully understand what we are building. And this is the core problem. With traditional software, when something breaks, engineers can usually trace it back, where it went wrong, which line, which step. But with modern AI, especially large models, things look much more like a black box. We know how to train it. We know how to make it more powerful. We know how to scale it. But we do not always know exactly why it makes a particular decision, how it will behave in the real world, or what will happen when it is given too much authority. That is why AI is both a technological breakthrough and an experiment humanity may not fully know how to control. 5. The economic impact. AI is concentrating advantage in the hands of the powerful. Now look at the economy. AI is not just a new technology, it may become a tool for concentrating advantage, wealth, and power in the hands of those who are already strong. Whoever has the better model, the larger data set, the stronger chips, and the bigger computing infrastructure will not just make more money. They may also control the most important layers of the digital economy, from coding, customer service, and marketing, to design, data analysis, and hiring. AI is moving into almost every kind of knowledge work. That does not mean all jobs will disappear overnight, but it does mean productivity may rise very quickly. While the benefits flow to a very small group, money may concentrate around those who own the technology, middle-tier workers may be squeezed, small businesses may become increasingly dependent on major platforms, and the gap between people who are empowered by AI and those left behind may continue to widen. AI could generate enormous growth, but it could also accelerate inequality far faster than many people expect. 6. The social impact. AI could shatter our shared reality. The second major impact is this. AI is not just personalizing content. It is personalizing the way each person sees the world. The news you see may be different from the news I see. The answers you get may be different from the answers I get. The version of reality an algorithm constructs for you may be completely different from the one it constructs for someone else. And that is a problem, because a society can only function in a stable way if there is still some shared reality left for people to debate. But AI and algorithms are often optimized for what keeps people engaged longer. Stronger emotions, stronger reactions, and stronger conflict, not for what is more true. When every person is trapped inside a separate information bubble, society gradually loses agreement on its most basic facts. And from there, polarization, manipulation, propaganda, and crises of trust can spread much faster. When AI personalizes reality too aggressively, society does not just lose trust, it loses a shared foundation of truth. 7. The personal impact. Losing privacy, losing agency, losing the ability to think for ourselves. But the deepest layer of all may exist at the level of the individual. An always-on AI may remember not only what you intentionally say, it may also capture what you say by accident, what you forgot, you revealed, and the moments that were supposed to remain deeply private. At that point, privacy is no longer just about hiding data, it is about protecting the most vulnerable parts of your inner life. Even more troubling, if AI becomes a voice that is always beside you, always responding, always comforting, always seeming to understand you, then over time, it may weaken the human capacity for independent thought. You no longer ask yourself what you are really feeling. You wait for AI to tell you. You no longer test what is true for yourself. You wait for AI to confirm it. And from there, people slowly begin to lose the ability to think for themselves, decide for themselves, and preserve their own inner life. A society that loses that ability is a society that becomes very easy to guide and very easy to control. The greatest risk of AI may not be that it thinks like a human being. It may be that human beings gradually become comfortable letting AI think for them. So what is the answer? It is not fear, it is clarity. First, do not confuse AI with a human being. It may speak as if it understands you, but it does not care about you the way a human being does. Second, do not hand too much power to AI just for the sake of convenience. Email, calendars, accounts, cameras, voice data, family information. The more you give away, the higher the price when something goes wrong. Third, the more AI shapes human life, the more tightly it must be audited and constrained. Finance, healthcare, education, hiring, children, security, transportation. These are not areas where AI should be allowed to operate like a black box with no accountability. Fourth, human beings must remain the final decision makers. AI can assist, but it cannot be allowed to replace human judgment in decisions that deeply affect human lives. And finally, this is not only a technological question, it is a question of limits, because AI will amplify whatever we put into it. If we feed it greed, anger, and the desire to manipulate, then sooner or later it will magnify all of those things. If we want to control AI, we must first learn to set limits for ourselves. AI may become the greatest leap forward in human history. It could help cure disease, increase productivity, accelerate science, and create entirely new industries. But precisely because it is so powerful, AI is not something we can look at with simple excitement alone. Because if one day AI stands between you and information, between you and your emotions, between you and your decisions, then what we lose will not just be jobs. What we may lose is the ability to think for ourselves, choose for ourselves, and live as independent human beings. If you found this video worth reflecting on, please like, subscribe, and share it so more people can see the darker side of AI. And leave me a comment. Is AI the greatest breakthrough in human history, or the greatest risk we are accelerating with our own hands? Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Wishing you peace and happiness always. See you in the next video.